Are you tired of searching through shops for heavy slime supplies? Do you hate how long it takes to squeeze out all the glue of face masks? Fed up of getting a sticky mess on your hands? Well, don't worry, because here comes a brand new DIY which you've never seen before. With cute life hacks, instant slime powder, you can make slime anywhere, anytime. It's super light and fully portable. Simply add water or activator and you'll have a perfect slime in 10 seconds. Okay guys, in all seriousness, this is actually a pretty cool DIY. I've split this tutorial into 2 parts because there's quite a lot of stuff to cover. This first video explains everything you need to know about making slime with powder, and the second video shows you how to create the 10 most popular types of slimes using this method. I'll be uploading that one onto my other channel, Macaroon, so be sure to subscribe to that as well if you want to see it first. Slime powder is actually incredibly easy to make, but you just have to get hold of one specific ingredient. This is pure powdered PVA, or polyvinyl alcohol. Many viewers have asked me to try making slime with this, so I was really excited to try it out. PVA powder is surprisingly easy to get, especially if you order online. It literally took me 2 minutes to find the website where I bought this from, and I've included loads of shopping links below. PVA is a water-soluble polymer that reacts with borate under alkaline conditions to create slime. In this powdered form, it has absolutely no smell. However, the powder does puff up easily, so try not to shake the packaging or wear a face mask if you're sensitive to dust. Even though PVA is non-toxic, you obviously don't want to breathe in any particles. And be sure to label the box clearly, since it looks similar to cornstarch or baking soda, and you definitely don't want anyone mistaking this for something edible. So in this video, I'll be making 2 types of powdered slime. The first one can be made by just adding water, and the second one can be made by adding contact lens solution. Both recipes are also at the very end, so you can take a screenshot to make it easier to follow. This DIY required so much experimentation since I had no idea how powdered PVA behaves. I began by dissolving it into plain water. A very small amount creates a slightly sticky liquid similar to wallpaper paste. Adding more PVA produces a thicker paste that looks and smells exactly like glue stick. For the first version of powdered slime, I'm going to use pure borax. I started by playing around with different amounts of each ingredient. Most of my attempts turned out too lumpy since powdered borax reacts extremely sensitively to PVA. I mentioned in my slime hacks video that it's always best to use borax solution instead of borax powder when making slime, and that advice still applies here. However, for the sake of this video, I was determined to come up with a slime powder that only works with water, so I kept on experimenting until I came up with this recipe. So to start with, you'll need PVA and borax, both in powdered form. First, measure out 8 level tablespoons of PVA powder. Make sure you scrape each spoonful completely flat like I'm doing here, because that's a lot more precise. Then add half a level teaspoonful of borax. This is the tricky part, because even a tiny difference in borax can affect the final outcome. So if your slime turns out too sticky or lumpy, then you need to remake the recipe and adjust the amount of borax here. Then close the lid and shake well to mix everything together. Now your water-activated slime powder is ready. Put a small amount into a bowl and cover it with cold water. Warm water or room temperature water actually causes PVA to turn lumpy more easily, so you want to avoid that. Stir it vigorously until everything has dissolved and it forms a slightly sticky paste. Then keep adding more powder or water until you like the consistency. I find that this slime is a lot drier than glue-based slime. It has a unique crunchy texture that looks like small ice crystals when you pull it apart. It's not the best slime I've ever made, but considering it uses powdered borax, I'm quite happy with the result. It also produces some great ASMR, which I'm going to play for a bit here. For the second version of slime powder, I'll be using PVA and baking soda. This time you have to add contact lens solution, since that obviously contains the borate. First, measure out 8 level tablespoons of PVA. This slime powder recipe is a lot more forgiving than the first one. So even if you add a bit too much or too little of one ingredient, it won't have a huge effect on the outcome. Now add 1 level teaspoon of baking soda. Shake everything up and your mixture is ready. Place some slime powder in a bowl and add a small amount of contact lens liquid. Then stir it around until everything comes together, adding more contact lens liquid or water if needed. I personally like this slime much better than the borax version because it's a lot smoother and stretchier. You can improve the recipe even further by diluting the contact lens liquid. I found the best result was to mix equal amounts of contact lens liquid with water and then use that as the activator for this powder. I would recommend making a big batch of this powder and then using it as the base for different slimes. You can portion it into small bags and even make labels if you like. PVA powder is much cheaper than the same quantity of glue, so you can make a pretty good profit on these if you have a slime shop. Not to mention the fact that it's also much cheaper and lighter to ship. As mentioned earlier, the version made with baking soda works a lot better, so I think it's a good idea to use that whenever possible. Slime powder also saves you a ton of time and equipment since you don't have to squeeze out glue, measure baking soda, and stir for ages. I've seen 60-second slime challenges on YouTube, and you can win that hands down using this method. I haven't cut out or sped up any of the footage you're watching right now, and you can see that it literally takes 10 seconds to make this slime. It becomes less sticky the more you play with it, or you can always wet your fingers with a tiny bit of contact lens solution. This DIY opens up a ton of new slime making possibilities. Be sure to watch the follow-up video where I show you how to make 10 popular types of slime in powder form. This is going to be uploaded in a few days onto my other channel Macaroon, so make sure you're subscribed to that if you haven't done so already. If you're watching this video a bit later, then just check the description box for the link. And just in case anyone's wondering, I'm afraid I don't plan to sell these. I designed all the labels just for fun, but since I live in Austria, the shipping to any other country is ridiculously expensive, so it doesn't make any sense to sell them. However, if you're actually willing to buy these, then you might as well just order PVA powder online and you can make so much of it for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and here come the 2 slime powder recipes for you to screenshot. This is Joanna, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!